Well, welcome back to the Triple E podcast. I am your host, Monique Pearson, and I am super excited to be here with you today. We have an awesome guest. I can't wait to tell you all about her and bring her up. But for those of you who may be new to our channel, before you get started, make sure you hit subscribe and join us and not be a visitor and take your shoes off and join us and be one of our sisters. So the Triple E podcast stands for Elevate, Expand, and Explore. And what we do is bring guests on who will help you elevate, expand, and explore your mindsets by sharing their triumphs, sharing their struggles, and giving you those key tips and insights which can enhance your personal as well as your professional life. So I have the distinct honor as well as privilege to bring on our guest today, who is Petula Sankarsingh. And I'm definitely going to make sure that she corrects me if I said her last name wrong, because I want to make sure that you're able to find her and connect with her. So Petula is a seasoned professional and serial entrepreneur with over 20 years of expertise in leadership, operations, and business development, specializing in driving transformative change across both nonprofit and for profit sectors. She has a bachelor's degree in psychology and a master's in business administration. She seamlessly blends academic insights with hands on expertise to deliver impactful results. As a visionary founder of Vision Ready, a renowned lifestyle by design expert, Petula empowers women leaders and entrepreneurs to break free from societal expectations and design the lifestyle that they truly desire. With a focus on business mentoring, confidence coaching, and lifestyle architecture, she helps women unlock their potential, lead with authenticity, and make bold moves towards success. Through her initiatives, including the Unmute Her platform, she champions self discovery, resilience, and personal empowerment, guiding women to amplify their voices and embrace their power. Beyond work, Petula practices yoga, she cares for her beloved fur baby, and indulges in fine wines. Her very interests fuel her creativity, contributing to a balanced approach to both life as well as work. As she often reflects, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step, a guiding principle that inspires perseverance, growth, and empowerment in her own life and in the lives of the women that she supports. So, without further ado, let's bring to the stage Petula. Hey,
Hello.
Petula, so glad to have you. How
Hey.
are you?
I am great. Thank you for such an amazing introduction.
Oh, well, you're an amazing individual. How can it be anything less?
Oh,
So
thank you.
before we get started, please tell the listeners how to pronounce your last name correctly, because I'm sure I probably got it.
Sankarsingh. So 3 syllables. It looks scary, but it's pretty easy.
Okay, you guys got that, Sankarsingh. Well, welcome, Petula. I want you to expound on something that definitely stood out for me when I was reading
Okay.
your bio. Can you share with us, as far as what is the Unmute Her platform, and just give us some more information? That is like, that's attention grabbing. As soon as I read that, and I definitely would love for you to expound upon what that entails.
Sure. So I provide a platform through podcasting as well as monthly conversations for women to be unmuted, to share their voice, to share their
Mhm.
stories, to be authentically themselves. And all that came about from my own experience and my own life, feeling that, as a brown skinned woman in corporate America, I never had people supporting me in my role. I've always had, when I hit the C level, in corporate America,
Mhm.
I was never viewed as a C level person. I was viewed as a woman who of color. Basically, that's it. So I felt like my voice was stifled for years, being in these organizations, in boardrooms, with the old boys club, even with women, honestly, not being able to be authentically me, share my thoughts, amplify my voice, and be heard. And I think it's really important for women, especially women, and especially women of color, to be able to have the courage and the confidence to be able to speak their truth, no matter what setting and place they are in the world, honestly. So that's, yeah, so that's what I promote. I encourage, and I want every single woman and young girl to just be in their authentic self. It's funny how I used to, people call me, oh, you're bossy, or when I was younger, you're bossy, or you have an attitude, or you're this, or you're that, but not saying like, oh, well, that's a quality of a natural born leader, or you could be powerful in a
Right.
leadership role. And that's the kind of narrative I hope to change for young girls coming up, to
Mhm.
be able to think of and view their lives as a powerful way, their voice as a powerful way of speaking into our future, and our future is going to be women.
It's already started. It's already there. We are well on our way with
Yes.
our. I'm going to speak it. Our first woman president. So yes, but what
Oh
struck
my
me
God, right?
is what would you share with a young woman or another woman of color who is up and coming, moving up the
Mhm.
corporate ladder and facing some of those struggles that you just spoke of, feeling as if she doesn't have someone to confer with as a mentor who looks like her or who's willing to be open with her, battling those struggles for those of us who
Yeah.
are in those type of environments. Like, what would you share with her if she were to come to you and ask you for counsel?
Um, well, if it's not me, find a mentor, someone that could help you. If I didn't have a mentor growing up, or well, it took a minute for me to realize I needed one, but when I finally got one, that's who helped me and got me through it. Even to this day, I have a mentor, and I have someone that I
Mhm.
could talk to and revisit, because things are going to come up. I feel like we're always on a journey of self-discovery. I wouldn't even say healing. I would just say self-discovery and learning, to be lifelong learners. So I would say be good at what you do. Be good at your
Mhm.
craft, that no one can
Mhm.
tell you anything different, right?
Right.
If you're right, if you want to be a speaker, get the training, do your work, so no one can come back and say, oh, that's why. If they can't view you negatively if you put in the work yourself. And
Mhm.
just remember, no one could be you. Authentically you is, I always say, I preach that, and I tell young girls, n- to own who you are. Take that and show the world. But there's ways to navigate that, right? It's kind of like finding your rhythm through life, right? You don't want to come out all like loud and squeaky, and like a broken instrument. You want to just have your rhythm to say, this is who I am, and this is how what I want to be. So I would just encourage the young girls to get a mentor to help them talk about what that looks like to them. Um, and I think it's important for people to, even girls, to journaling is important, right? I feel like if you're writing down, when you write down, you're intentionally thinking about what helps you and guides you through life. Write down your intentions, write down what your purpose will be. I know journaling has helped me, meditation has helped me through my journey. So for
Mhm.
me, truthfully, I would just encourage young girls to just know if they decide to be a singer, just, be the best singer ever. So no one could, if they decide to be an entrepreneur, be the best you could be at that, so whatever you decide to do, just put in the work for you internally and just come out strong, be confident, be authentic, and never let anybody tell you that you can't, basically. Hope that helps. I
Right.
kind of rambled on a little bit.
Well, no, I think my takeaways that I take from that is do not give anyone any ammunition to shoot you. If you're coming in doing and
Yes.
dotting your I's, crossing your T's, being
Hmm.
able to show up as your highest self. That also
Yes.
gives you puts you in a position to be have people to want to work with you. And as you stated, as far as finding a mentor, I know that was something
Hmm.
that definitely helped me along my career. And even the best have coaches. So
Yeah.
that'll be something,
Yes.
as you said, that will be a lifelong thing as you continue to evolve on your journey to continue to
Yes.
end up with those people who are meeting you where you're presently at. So I definitely agree with
Yes.
everything you
Yes.
said
Nicely said.
there.
Yeah. Yeah. Get clear on your intentions, everything
Mhm.
starts with a decision to align with the actions you're gonna, your desires. So don't let others expectation or limitations, beliefs dictate your path.
Exactly. So since we're talking about paths and we're talking about growth, share with
Yeah.
us a time when you stepped out of your comfort zone and it just led to like significant growth for you.
Let's see. So yeah, so it's going into entrepreneurship. So a pivotal moment came when I left a toxic leadership environment that was literally draining me mentally and physically. Stepping away from that, I found first off, stepping away from that, I found myself needing to rebuild my confidence, resilience, and from the ground up, right? So I had to put in the work, and I said to myself, that's never going to happen again. you know, it was hard. So it was in that space of vulnerability that I discovered my true calling, to help other women navigate similar challenges, because I'm living, breathing person who's went through it myself. I could teach people how to work through that because I've been through it myself. So starting my own company allowed me to create a space where I could not only heal but help others elevate their lives by designing their own path to success and whatever that looks like to a person. Um, and that that moment shifted, and my perspective on everything solidified my purpose, just, and even like my recent podcast with all you amazing women, that in itself, every time I like launch an episode, I'm just blown away at the incredible stories that I got to hear and people shared with me. I'm just like so grateful for the opportunity. So my pivotal moment is leaving the corporate environment and starting my own business to be in my purpose.
So you have a woman who is a dualpreneur and she is at the point where you once were, wanting to leave corporate America, follow
Hmm.
her heart, but fear is holding her back because she's never seen herself without a
Yeah.
steady paycheck and having to determine her own worth and her own paycheck. How would you be
Yeah.
able to help her maneuver past that fear that's stopping her from taking that leap towards her dream?
You're right. You're taking that leap towards you, right? So the
Mhm.
time and energy you're putting into the job, that your corporate America job, which is a lot of time and energy, is for someone else. And the same time and energy you can pour into yourself. So while fear may come up, you're already doing it, right? You're already in it. You're already working. You're already knowing how to navigate, because 9 out of 10, when you leave and start your own business, is something you learn from that space was something that you're good at, something that you really
Mhm.
want to share with other people. So it's already something that you're probably qualified for, or if you do need some tweaking on it, then while you're there, you're putting in the time just to start making the plan to exit, right? So I
Right.
would say um, do I do exercise called mapping. So map out that plan. Okay, so you're like, this is something you really are passionate about, to go on your own, have your own
Mhm.
business, and you've already identified what that is. So while you're in corporate America, building, working there, getting that paycheck, obviously to pay the bills, right? I would
Right.
say start mapping out what that is for you. Start with your intentions, start with your purpose, and I would map out. I wouldn't even say a year, 6 months from the day you are ready to leave, right? So let's say your date is April 15th of 2025, right? So you say
Mhm.
you're resigning April 15th, 2025. You start mapping out from now until then. I don't know if it's at 6 months or not, I didn't count, but you start mapping
Right.
out.
We got it. 6 months out, ladies.
Yeah. You just start mapping out what your plan is going to be. So when you leave, you're ready, right? So
Mm.
you're mapping out your vision to on paper, right? You don't even have to
Mhm.
type it up. Map it out to what that is. I know a lot of people still really believe in the business plan, and you'll need one if you're going for like some sort of funding later. Start,
Right.
there's simple templates on the SBA sites that are free. Start building out your template and your step on, and a lot of stuff will come up while you start doing
Mhm.
that. I've had a young lady who wanted to start a hair business, a mobile hair business, right? So she started mapping out a plan, but then she realized that she didn't really want to do that
Oh,
later
well,
on.
that's the
So it's
time to make that discovery before you get started. That is the time to change your mind
it,
and know that you have
and she
options.
left her job, so that she had to go back and look for a job. It was just, I'm like,
Oh,
well, what? Yeah, it was so.
okay. I thought she was still mapping while still working, so I misinterpreted that.
She rushed it. I didn't tell. I was like, "You did what?" In one of our calls, she literally texted me. I was like, "You did what?" And
Well,
so, I mean, she was really smart though. So she got another job
mhm,
quickly, but she just realized that it wasn't for her. She's more comfortable with working for someone and knowing she's getting a certain amount every couple of weeks.
mhm,
That was just her
mhm.
comfortable space. So that's why once you start putting pen to paper, I strongly believe in that. You'll start seeing, you'll start learning, your mindset's going to start changing, and that's really important too. You have to really truly believe and in what you're doing in order to leave, right? I
Right.
remember I think it might have been Oprah who said a lot of people, um when it comes to intention or purpose, or like where do they want to go, they don't know where they want to go. Right, with their
Yeah.
career, with their life, that kind of thing. So it's important again to start mapping it out. And yeah, let me know if you need help.
So you did mention also too your podcast. So for those who may be interested in hearing more and seeing you, where
Yes.
what is it podcast and where can they find you?
Disrupt Your Day, it's on YouTube, and we're on just about all the streaming platforms: Apple, Google, Spotify. Yeah, those are the main ones, but you could stream on other platforms too.
Okay, welcome. We're all about spreading the word and supporting. There is enough room for all of us in this space. So yes, we're happy to
Yes.
support and have other
Yeah.
listeners come join you as well. What heard you mention when you did strike out on your own that you had to rebuild yourself up from the ground up. I'm sure there were some mental health practices that you implemented or use or are currently using. What are some of those that you
Yes.
use to help maintain your mental health?
Yeah, man, let me tell you, maintaining mental health is a priority for me after going through that period where I mean, I was knocked down, right? So I follow more of a holistic approach. So I practice
Mm-hmm.
yoga regularly, which grounds me, and incorporate meditation and breath work. I meditate every single day. It kind of resets me and resets my energy for the day. Um, I also focus on, and this is something that took time and work, I also focus on setting clear boundaries, and especially as an
Mm-hmm.
entrepreneur to prevent burnout. Because in the beginning, I was just like, yes, 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 yes. And you can't do that because I literally hit burnout and I couldn't function. I could not do a thing. And again, I know I keep mentioning journaling, but it's so important to just start telling your story, by writing. It helps. Um, I'm spending quality time with my fur baby Jupiter. He always brings me joy. And also, my go-to practice is for mindfulness. I mean, these are all go-to practices for mindfulness,
Mm-hmm.
for stress relief, all this good stuff. But I would say my top one is meditation.
Okay. I have tried, and there's probably other people like me. Like I have difficult time with meditation, like stopping my brain from racing, all my to-do lists. Like, what would you say for our beginners, like a easy
Right.
way to try to ease your way in? Because I know I'm one of those
Okay,
people most
right,
of the
because that happens. You get that they call it monkey brain, right? So where you're like, you're right. Go ahead, let it happen. Let it happen. And if you start off 1 minute per day, you start
time.
off.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's a great beginning. And then eventually you'll start. So when I first started, God, 15 years ago, I would say, I had a focus point where I would look at that, because I did too. I had that monkey brain and I just could not, you couldn't get me to stop thinking. But now I could fall into my meditation very easily. But how I
Mm-hmm.
started shifting was starting off like that 1 minute, right? Then adding minutes to that. And then I get a focal point, something I just stare at and you just look
Mm-hmm.
at it, right? And it gets you moving, concentrated on that thing, so now your brain's not going a million miles on
All over the
many
place.
other things, right? And then next I also added music. Some people could do it without music and some people need music. I mean, I still to this
Hmm.
day do music because it's soothing for me, so like
Okay.
meditation music is really good to add to it as well. And have that space where you're by yourself, if you could, um, for that couple of minutes, or even
Yeah.
that minute to start off with, unplug from other, because, it's funny, while we think that, we'll start a meditation, but then you have so many people around you, you sometimes,
Mm-hmm.
are getting their energies, and that could be messing with your vibration too, right? So I would say, just start off 1 minute a day and eventually you'll get there.
Start small, people. See, we're trying to be overachievers and try too much and do too much too long. But I will implement the steering. I think I tried it with a candle, and that seemed to work for me to have something to focus and
Mm.
beyond. And yeah, it was easier. So
Yeah, I mean, yes, I do candles sometimes. I do incense, whatever makes you feel good. Just try different
mhm.
modalities so you can get to that practice. It's really, really, it will shift your whole entire mindset and being.
Gonna try that too. I'll let you know how it works out.
Yeah, please do.
So, who are some of your biggest inspirations, and why is that?
My biggest inspirations are women who have unapologetically owned their power and used it to uplift others, and especially
Mm,
uplift other women. You
love
know,
it.
just using that voice, that, I mean, to me, and whoever that may be. I mentioned Oprah before. She uplifts a lot of women. I don't know her personally, but I try to
Mhm.
keep my circle small
Okay.
and have, and I've had to go through this too, like get rid of people, because sometimes you just, outgrow friendships, and there's not
Oh, I
serving
was
you.
speaking on that this week. That is so true. Seems like the higher
Yes,
you ascend, the altitude gets thinner, and I use that as an analogy with
I
how you
love
ascend,
that.
the circle gets
Yeah.
smaller. Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, so women that's actually going to have your back, and that's a hard thing to find, honestly. Women, and it makes me sad. We don't, I know I do, but a lot of women don't support other women. They're always competing, but that's what society have done to us, right? So I would say, like, you, me, we are now these women who are going to be those biggest inspirations, right?
Right.
But just like any women who are just owning, their shit, right? Owning their
Yeah.
badassness and uplifting others. That's truly inspiration for me. And I really would like to see the shift um, in the future to be stronger between women because, like I said, I had to clean house. I really probably have one like close girlfriend now. I had to literally, because they weren't supporting me in a positive way. So you have to get rid
Mm,
of all the negativity around you in order to elevate.
mm. Well, I agree. That's what I was like, but I'm fortunate to be able to connect with women who actually believe
Yes.
exactly what you're stating, that far as they want to be connected to positive women who aren't seeing you as a competitor, but basically that we can
Right.
and join and support one another to help us get to where we are because we're stronger together versus trying to do this by
Oh
ourselves.
my God,
So,
yeah, yes. And I truly believe in collaborating. I think there's like enough space out. We all have our unique thing. And when
right.
women finally get to that confident part when they know what they're speaking about is different than, what Monique's speaking about or, whoever, we can collaborate and do great things together.
I totally agree. And if you would think about it, I think this also struck me. Someone said, you look at all the different makeup manufacturers that we have out there, L'Oreal, Maybelline, Rihanna's, do you see them stopping from coming out to show makeup? So people are going to be drawn to whichever one resonates with them. The same thing. You can have someone in your same respective lane, but there's still a
Hmm.
space and a calling for you because who is for you and who resonates with you is going to be for you. So there is no competition because that person that is attracted to your energy, the way that you offer or bring your service, your product to the world
Yes.
is going to be for you. So if we can think about it
Yes.
in that way, that there are other competitors, but truly the only competition you have is yourself,
Yeah.
being your best self.
Right.
So yes, I really
Absolutely.
more people would
100%.
do it that way. Mm. So
Agreed.
what has had the most significant, if you had to name whether it be a book, a person, or a podcast that has greatly impacted your life?
Man. Maybe I would say my book. And because I kind of just fell into it. I wasn't even looking to really write a book
Oh,
or
you didn't mention that
um
in your bio. What's the name of your book? And tell us a little bit
oh,
more about it.
sorry. A love letter to me, building healthy self-esteem for women and girls.
Wow.
And yeah, I published that in I think 2014. It's been a while. I'm gonna do a 10-year, is it a 10-year? Yeah, about
Yeah, yeah, we're at
anniversary.
10-year mark, so it's time to go on and revamp that and bring it back out.
Yes, and bring it back out. So that was truly impactful because of the response I've got from all these incredible women who contributed to the book. Because what I did was I asked women to write a love letter to their younger selves, and
I
what
love
would they
it. Love it.
Yes, yes. What advice would they share now that they're in their 40s, 50, whatever age they were at the time when they were writing the letter, what have you
Mhm.
learned, that kind of thing. And let me tell you, it was so incredible. I think it just that's from there on I knew that that was my path. And every year I
Mhm.
kept circling back around to it, but I'm finally here permanently. Yes.
So for
That
those
was
who
a
would like
very
to get the book, where can they purchase it?
on Amazon.
Okay, there you go.
Yes.
I love that because I know I did partake in that exercise, and it just It's heartwarming, so I love it.
It
So as
is, yeah, a lot of the women said that it like was therapeutic for them.
hmm actually, my therapist is the one who had me do that as part of my therapy work. So, yeah, it
Oh
definitely
my
was
God,
therapeutic
that's
for
amazing.
me to do that healing work
Yeah.
and reach back and comfort the younger you at a time when you weren't able
Oh,
to. It
but
works.
we
Yeah.
have to though. We have
hmm
to.
So, as we're coming to a close, I know it went by so
Yeah,
quick. What
I know.
legacy would you like to leave behind, Petula? What would you like
Oh
that
my
to be?
God. Well, I I want my legacy to truly be one of empowerment. I hope to be remembered for helping women unapologetically amplify their voices, live authentically, and design lives that align with their true purpose. So through Vision Ready and Unmute Her and my lifestyle architecture work, I aim to hopefully inspire a ripple effect of resilience, confidence, and a bold action in women in worldwide. It does, I just hope I have an impact throughout the entire world.
Love it. So we will definitely make sure that we put Petula's contact information, her websites, if you
Yay.
want to check out her podcast, if you want to
Yes.
go and make sure you purchase the 10-year anniversary of her book, or just possibly work with her in Unmuting
Yeah.
Your Voice. We will make sure you can have all of her information. It has been a pleasure, Petula. Thank you for coming. We enjoyed
Thank
speaking
you.
with you. And I make sure you all tune in for our next episode so that you can continue to elevate, expand, and explore your mindset. Until the next episode, take care.
Thank you.